Massive warning. Around the world, the share of US global foreign currencies is reducing dramatically. So, US treasuries around the world have fallen to a record low. Now, what does this mean? And why are central banks around the world stacking gold? They're saying the quiet part out loud. The fact that they're stacking gold instead of US dollars, and they've been working to de dollarize since 2009 when BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa came together to de dollarize, right there on their website, and all of a sudden Bitcoin is created. That's interesting. We've been sharing with you guys around what we believe is going to be the next stock market collapse, which is the private credit markets. The private credit markets is something that nobody's paying attention to. We're too distracted with the war narrative, and there's a systemic thing happening behind the scenes called private credit. Do you remember back in 2006 to 2008, the housing collapse that started with the subprime mortgages? Well, there's something really bubbling behind the scenes called private credit. The Federal Reserve can't even tell how systemic and how big this is. They've admitted that. So we have an overvalued stock market based on the Warren Buffett indicator. You have the Mag 7 melting down right now. You have a private credit market, which BlackRock is wanting to push into your 401k. We have a war narrative, and if we have boots on the ground, these markets are going to melt. Now, here's the good news. Remember, Warren Buffett, buy when there's fear, sell when there's greed. Unfortunately or fortunately, this is where you get wealthy. Remember, only 10% of the population owns almost all the capital markets. It moves from the undisciplined to the disciplined. So how I've positioned myself from 2020 to 2025 be a little bit different from 2026 to 2030. I was heavily focused on offense, and then I started to transition to defense. Let me explain. I invented what's called Capel DR. It's not an investment, it's a system that helps you navigate through economic cycles. There's been over 32 major market collapses in the last 200 years. And I finally started to study this at a deep level. I came from banking, I didn't even understand how the system worked. But when I finally woke up is in 2020 when they shut down my business and took away my income. Key, they took away my ability to feed my family by shutting down my business next door. They locked my doors with the pandemic. So then I started to realize, I'm like, wait a minute. Is crypto my savior? All of a sudden, it's going parabolic only if I was able to understand how wealthy moved through the system. So I decided to study it at a deep level. I realized that cash is trash. Cash flow is king. You don't need more income, you need more cash flow. You can do both, increase your income and increase your cash flow. It's game over. Next is A, assets. I wanted to make sure that I was in assets that were deflationary, that had fixed supplies, and that would survive into the next financial system. That's how I got heavy into digital assets. And I'll share with you my exact portfolio on the back end, no gatekeeping. So A, assets, I realized is called